Hello, welcome to the MachinimaHub podcast. This month in Machinima, I am one of the hosts, Joziah 2, also known as the Mod Mouse, and I'm here with my co-host,
Braigar. Hello and welcome to the new year of 2020, and we're joined by the voice actress, Scuffle. Say hello, Scuffle.
Hello!
Yay!
Just hi!
Hi. So, it's not exactly who was supposed to be our guest, but a welcome one nonetheless.
Hey.
Basically, the last guest got sick, like real last second, and then we were hoping they'd get better in time, but it was like, nope. And so it's like, alright, quick, turn the heel, let's get a different guest!
Yes, and Scuffle already recently did a podcast on the Hub too,
Yep.
which was the voice actor one. How did that go?
Well, it went pretty good actually. A lot of people from the hub also joined, and it was a lot of fun.
I wish I could have popped on, but
Yeah.
it was an awkward time, I remember.
I think
me.
it was like, I don't remember. I think it was at like 8 p.m. my time. So it was kind of more so for like Lewis and I that it matched, and we just hope that,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I couldn't rewatch it afterwards. I rewatched it while playing Skyrim. I watched it after the fact, but I watched it while playing Skyrim.
I did notice that I kind of echoed a little bit though, so I hope that's okay now.
You shouldn't be. Should be right now.
Yeah, I think that was just I think there was an issue in the setup in that particular video. I don't think it'll happen here.
All right, great.
Okay, so what did you guys talk about?
Well, it's been a little time now, but we kind of wanted to focus on the topic of auditions and auditioning and stuff like that. And then as more people joined and some people asked questions, we kind of started drifting off and more talking about what we think is important and our interests and stuff like that.
So, Josiah, you had some thoughts about what they talked about, I believe.
Yeah, well, one of the thoughts I didn't hear them say was that I thought there's something you can do in the script to make voice actors' lives easier that they didn't mention. Which is whenever you have... Okay, so when you type out a character's name because they're doing dialogue, right? If you put a colon next to it, then you can search through those files for the name with the colon attached, and you can find out exactly how many lines you have and jump straight to them.
That's really smart, actually. Yeah.
So that's something I do in my scripts. And then I was editing a script for someone else, and they didn't do it, and I was like, suggestion, you should do this. And they're like, oh, that's a good idea.
So what did you guys say?
That's one thing. Sorry, what?
So what did you guys say about that, Sophie?
You mean like about making it easier?
Yeah.
I remember I was just kind of throwing out some stuff like when creators want to get their idea out quickly, then they type it, and sometimes they have spelling mistakes or maybe grammar mistakes, and while that is fine, it still kind of, well, me personally, I take the lines very literally, so if something is written in a certain way, I don't want to change it because I don't want to change the script of what the creator has thought of, So sometimes a little change of a word can change the meaning of a sentence, and I'd rather not do that, but...
Yeah, I think scripts should be taken quite literally unless you're told that they don't have to be.
Yeah.
Like, I know Ray says that you have a lot more wiggle room than you normally would, but I'm someone who, for instance, typically writes every line with intent. So it's like if I have a line of dialogue, I like the dialogue I write, so I often like people to stick to it quite closely.
And I can say that as I know that I'm not the best at writing grammatically correct and stuff like that. So I could tell you already, like, if you see mistakes in my writing, please tell me, and we fix it.
Yeah, but you do ask for feedback, though. Sometimes I remember you asking, like, is this something that makes sense? Is this
Yeah.
something that's easy to say? And that really helps out.
Yeah, I will always ask about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that
Yeah,
my writing won't always be exactly how it would be said.
yeah, and that can happen to anyone.
And sometimes I guess something that can play a part is also that, well, not my native language is not English, so sometimes I have a bit of trouble pronouncing certain sounds or words or whatever. And then if a lot of those sounds are piled in a sentence, then I have trouble pronouncing the sentence. So then it's nice to be able to talk to someone and go like, so I have trouble saying this. Can I say it differently? And would it still have the same meaning and stuff like that?
Yes, I know, Eggy Boo. You're a great help to the scripts. So,
I need to start getting someone to read over my scripts, because I sometimes think a lot of my grammar mistakes slip through the cracks.
I feel like you're somebody who would fix grammar mistakes, though, like in other people's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, I did a lot of that when I was editing that other person's script that I talked about. Keeping the person vague, because I don't remember if I'm allowed to talk about it publicly or not.
Secret.
I think I am, but I don't remember, so I'm just playing it safe.
So, one thing you'd mentioned that you guys talked about last time that I wanted to talk about too is knowing what characters to audition for, or what characters you want to do or aim for, or how do you individually go for that? Like, what did you have to say about that?
Well, I remember somebody also asking it, which was a really interesting topic to talk about, because some people might think that you need to either choose characters really specifically or just take anything that comes up, and it kind of depends per person, but for me, I kind of noticed that my voice fits certain characters better than others. My natural voice is not very high-pitched, so you would not really see me doing any voices that are really high-pitched, neither that are really low, so I kind of try to pick a role depending on, okay, well, do I think I'm fit for this as my voice? Because I want to feel like this voice is right for the character. And
have you noticed that a lot? Like, that you find roles like that?
Sometimes people come up to me and they offer me a role, like somebody's offered me a police officer, or like a caseworker, or more professional type of people, I guess, if I could say that. I feel like I can do a voice that is very, well, not strict, but serious, in a way. Or like...
Have you done a voice that has surprised you that you could do and you did it well?
That has surprised me.
Like, you didn't expect to do this one well, like, or like you didn't expect this to fit you.
Well, I am currently, I'm not recording it, but I did record it a little bit. I'm voicing a character who's very insecure about herself. And she stutters a lot, which I don't really...
stuttering can be fun.
Yeah, I don't really do that a lot. I just talk a lot, but, well, sometimes I stutter, but everybody has that sometimes. So, it was kind of fun, because I had to really adapt to a soft speaking tone and, like, a really insecure tone. So, that's fun to do. It kind of makes you feel like you're playing a role, like, literally playing a role and being the character, and
I gotta be right back. Keep going, guys.
But you kind of change of what you are like normally. I'm very talkative, and I like chatting, and that's why I'm also here, but to play someone who either doesn't really talk that often or is a bit insecure, that's just fun.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I try to be quite friendly. But there was, like, one of the first characters I played on the hub was, like, a really serious... one of the first characters I got casted for, from the hub, I should say, was, like, a really serious character who he talks a bit slower. He's like this scientist guy, and he invents stuff, and he's basically all serious all the time. Whereas I have a tendency to throw out jokes fairly often.
To be a little bit goofy sometimes.
It's like you have to remember the characters aren't you.
Welcome back.
Well, yeah. Have you ever
And so
felt
you
that?
should give them their own twist.
Have you ever felt so connected to a character that you have been having a hard time like separating the character and yourself?
Ooh. Well, for me personally, I try to voice a lot of characters with my normal voice because it doesn't put any strain on my voice. But I don't feel like they are me. I kind of still feel like they're them. They're this character, they have this background. And I'm not that character, even though I do voice them. But I don't know how Joziah thinks about that.
Well, it becomes a little more complicated for me because I've done stuff that isn't straight machinima as well. I do the role plays.
I was about to say, like, the only times I've felt it has been in roleplay, not in actual voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you look at my role plays, the characters will often start off being quite like me. Especially Stephen from the Neighborhood roleplay. When I was young, he was basically just me being me. At the time. With a little twist like, oh, I'm trying to act like I'm an adult in this situation.
Yeah.
You know, even though I was like 15. Anyway.
But yeah, I
but
guess
there
that,
is a definite thing, because this is something I decided later on, but for the characters that I play in roleplay, they always have a mode I swap into now. So, like, I go to Stephen, and he's all, like, sarcastic, and he has this bit of snark, and then, oh, you're doing this. He will be like that whatever he is saying. It's like I swap into that mode, and then I'm being him, not me. And Mark is similar. He's excitable. He enjoys things. He looks around, excited. He can't always finish his sentences properly. He's looking around, stutters a bit. He's just so excited. Life is fun. That's what he's like.
Yeah.
So I have different modes for both of those characters, and I kind of had to analyze them after the fact. I don't have either of them down perfectly because I haven't done them enough, but that's my opinion on those.
So, I want to bring it back a little bit because I have something, some thoughts about like how to find characters and stuff like that. Because I am somebody who now gets very typecasted for either like an elderly mental character, or somebody who's pretty much just gonna die because of a joke. that's what happened to me. Well, I'm sitting here like
I got you as the mentor character.
Exactly. And like I'm sitting here itching for like a character that can like I can explore a little bit more, like and a character that there's just something more to them, something interesting that I want to self-explore. Like coming from I have done acting IRL, and I put a lot of thought into the characters from that field, and I take that into my voice acting.
Well, I might have something for you coming up at some point, bro.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Like the first time I
that or I'll just cast you as the mentor character in that one again.
The first time I noticed that like I want to do more something with the character was when I did Geralt from Red Tears. And it's like, yes, I get to try something different here.
Yeah.
And
you're a villain this time.
Yeah, and I got to flex a muscle in voice acting that I hadn't gotten the chance to do before this one.
Yeah.
And that was like, when you get that feeling of like you're excited about this, you love this character, you want to do more of this, like that's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what I'm looking for.
One of the best compliments you can receive as a voice actor in some ways is when you have like one character and they go like, oh, I voiced, and you're like, I voiced this character, and they're like, oh, that's right, neat. Who else did you voice? And you're like, oh, I was also this one. Wait, that was you?
Yeah. Or something like when people recognize you for the role that you voiced.
Yeah, but I guess I'm meaning like they've heard you in two places, but they didn't realize it was the same person.
Yeah.
That is a good compliment, because like that means you did a good job separating the characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get that point. What was I gonna say? I don't know how I've tried to do that more in the past, like trying to really separate my voice, but I find myself I've done a better job if I like not I double down on that a little bit more now, and just focus more so on the attitudes of the character instead of the voice I'm portraying. Like I'm using my own voice to portray a different character.
I like to distort my voice a little bit, but it's like with the Stephen and Mark things. They are both my voice.
Yeah.
I've just thrown a different spin on them. And I don't know, maybe it sounds the same to you guys, but to me, I can hear which one it is.
I mean, there's little things that you can do to change your voice, but you can also do something drastic that makes it unrecognizable.
Good day, mate.
Either you can force it yourself, or you can
my
like,
pistol isn't...
or you can like use effects. But there's something that I haven't done a lot, which is do like a really high-pitched voice. I've like showed it off to some people, but I kind of more stick to my voice and then maybe throw a different accent on it, or make it slightly lighter, or slightly lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing an accent is harder. Like, oh god. Like, I tried to do like a British accent on one of my shorts, and like I really tried, like I genuinely went in for it, like, okay, I'm gonna learn this. And like the reason why, like, I know it's not good, or like as good as I want it to be, but like I thought to myself, like, you gotta do these projects where you try it out, maybe not succeed, but you do it, and then you can get better at it, like, as the more you do it. But you're not gonna get better if you don't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I'm pushing myself to do that.
Yeah. You kind of also just, like, I've said in the other podcast before, if you're just starting out with voice acting, then I suggest you go for smaller roles to kind of get into it, and you show up once or twice, and then you kind of start expanding and creating this voice, or, well, rediscovering it, I guess. And as you get better...
I just, like, literally my first thing was a main role.
I mean, honestly, I was pretty much like that as well. But I kind of...
Start small, does big roles.
I was the main character.
That just kind of happens. Sometimes it just happens and it... Yeah.
Had you done any voice acting before, Rebecca?
Yes.
What did you do?
Red Tears, but it was like Nessa and like the...
Wait, was that before Rebecca?
You have Red Tears and Red Tears Unraveled.
Oh,
Unraveled
the short.
after. But Red Tears was the really short one that was just me doing a few sentences.
Hey, look, there's the police officer!
Yeah, she was a police officer.
Because you said earlier, I get cast for things like a police officer.
Yeah.
So there you go, there's the police officer.
Ta-da! But I intentionally went for her because I thought, well, you know, this is a good start for me. And I feel like if I start with smaller things, then I can kind of grow into that, because around that time, I also recorded Natalie in the game, made by Tossler, but it was like a one scene line, or like two lines in one scene. And I remember that very clearly because I recorded it on my phone as well. That was before I used my microphone that I have now.
Okay, so you did like 3 parts around the same time then?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it kind of overlaps.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff at the same time because I like to keep busy.
A lot of stuff was coming out around that time though. Like, that was a very active time around 2019.
And I also remember recording a role I have in Captain Light very early on.
Oh, you did it back then?
This is where, like, right after the stream, she just goes back and listens to her lines and is like, "Oh, I'm not proud of those now," and then just re-records all of them and sends them to UVD.
I mean,
As,
I think they're good. I think I should keep it with what it is because unless, of course, he goes, Sophie, do it again, please, then I'm here.
I might be biased, but I feel like the Rebecca lines are some of your best work to this day.
The Rebecca lines are good. That's definitely a thing.
I was like so nervous for those, honestly. I was really like, because it was a big thing. So when we were recording it in like a live recording, I was like, oh my god, this guy, what? Who is this? What am? Oh my god! And it was really new to me, and I'm really glad that I portrayed her so confidently, even though I was really nervous at the recording.
Yeah, you definitely nailed the character. 100%. And it's like hard to voice a character that has already been betrayed by different people twice already before you.
And I'm really proud I'm really happy I did her justice.
Like people already considered Trace, who played her before, like they considered her as like Rebecca when she voiced her.
Yeah.
But you like somehow you managed to completely own the character.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really glad you say that.
I had a similar case with AC Badfish, who voiced Scott in DSE, and when he took over, he also did the same thing. Like, I've been really lucky with recasting.
It's also kind of like.
And I still remember Braigar that one time when you just like in the middle of one of yours, you just like pinged me with a highlight from your stream where it's just like a clip of you going, "Oh, I think Joz would be a good replacement for this person."
You would 100% be a great replacement for that person.
And I'm just sitting there like, huh.
You could hear it though, right?
I don't know how to respond to this.
But you could hear it though, right?
You know, a thing about replacing.
I can hear a little bit of it. I feel like, I don't know. I can see where you're coming from, and I think I possibly could do it. But I'm not so sure that my voice would inherently be so good for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a bit of the same sound going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, a thing about replacing a voice actor is also you don't know if what the voice actor is gonna think, but mostly it's like, oh, well, the voice actor didn't have time anymore, so that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a thing of, if it's a character in a big series, or, like, a character that's been along for a long time, and you replace them with your own voice, sometimes the audience doesn't like that. So that's also a thing that, well, I guess you think about.
Yeah, everyone seems pretty on board for Rebecca.
And I'm really glad about that, but say if it was a huge flop and everybody thought, well, she sounds different, I don't like this voice, then things would have taken a really different turn.
I think that would be more my fault though. Like if it didn't work, that would have been my fault, because that would have been poor casting on my end.
I guess so, but you could still think.
So really, when you
this
say
person
that, so
fits.
really, Braigar, when you say that Scuffle is the best Rebecca, you're patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, really, it's all my honor that she did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about voice actors?
Aww. Give us
I'm
some
joking,
credit,
I'm joking.
Josiah.
I'm joking. We're all voice actors here. Actually.
Well, like it's the
voice
responsibility of a director to get a good voice actor to do a good job. So it's like, it's like both have to do a good job in that case.
But say if you would think that this person has a good voice for this character and the audience just doesn't like it.
That can happen. That can happen.
But then isn't that really just a bad choice for the director? But then it's like, who is the director trying to work for? Is he trying to work for himself, or is he trying to work for the audience? Because you can get kind of different content in that regard.
Just to kind of slide a question in there, somebody said, do you think it's possible to become an English voice actor while being French? What do you guys think?
Well, it depends on how strong the accent is, right?
If you can speak English, then I think sure.
Yeah, it's not every director that cares about accent either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't really. I'm a little bit sheltered in some ways. I don't really understand accents. I don't listen to most voices and go, that's an accent. I can identify like British and Australian. That's about it. So I listen to a voice, and if it has a cool and unique accent, like I remember I heard Braigar's voice, and I was like, oh, I gotta use that.
Mm-hmm. It kind of makes it nice to have people.
And like I still, I could guess what your accent is, Braigar, because I think you've told me once, and I could guess the name, but I'm not convinced that I remember it as the right one. I just don't think about it in accents a lot of the time. I just go like, here's voices, and I want the voices to not all sound the same, so I'll grab like this and this. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I'm not an English speaker or native English speaker myself. I'm actually Dutch, but I don't have a really strong Dutch accent. I could do it, but I don't do it.
The thing about Dutch people is that when I first meet them or talk to them, I can never tell that they're Dutch before they tell me, and then I hear it instantly. Because, like, to me, Dutch people don't have an accent, they have a sound to the way they speak. Like, you can very easily think they're just a very neutral...
Accent, not a sound.
Well,
you
it's...
mean a Dutch accent, or...?
Yeah, like, this, to me it's more like a... Well, of course, voice is sound, but, like, accent is more like the way you speak. Instead of how you sound. Because, like, what is a very typical American English difference? Like, how are ya? How are you? That's like the way you say it, not the way you sound. Kind of way, if you know what I say.
Yeah, and I guess Australian is a bit the same way because a lot of stuff is shortened.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the typical "G'day, mate." It's like it's "Good day, mate," and then it's all crushed together.
I'd just say go for it, Blaze. Try it out. If it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I didn't have an accent. Found out that wasn't the case.
You have a very strong accent.
I have a very strong accent. Apparently, I can still. You don't hear your own accent.
But you still speak English though. That's why you have an easier time.
You can speak
because
English.
People
you
would
be an English voice actor.
Especially Americans will only pick English speaking voice actors most of the time.
Yeah. So and then I'm sure there's people who will want the French accent. Because I wouldn't know off the top of my head what a French accent would sound like exactly. A not very strong French accent. But
Oui, oui, oui.
Oui, oui, monsieur.
Maybe, but I'm sure that if I heard it in an audition for the right character, I'd be like, oh yes, I'ma take that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of funny because I've heard someone say to me when I showed them or let them hear what a Dutch accent sounds like, they thought it was a French one.
Wait, do you have an example of like a strong Dutch accent?
Well, if you really think about it, then it kind of sounds like this.
Ah, yeah, that does sound
that
French.
does sound a little bit like,
I would say French on that.
That's a really strong Dutch accent.
Because like when I hear actual Dutch speaking, all I hear is
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, isn't that the way with other language? Unless you understand the language,
to me it sounds
It
French.
just sounds like gibberish.
right over your head.
Yeah.
Because I would say I'm hardly proficient, but I know a bit of Japanese. And I thought it was really interesting how, like, at first, all I heard was but then later I started learning the actual sounds that they used and stuff. And now I hear, like, stuff like, Domasu? I can actually make out the words and go
You
like,
hear the
oh, here's
words.
the actual sounds they're making, even though I don't know what it means.
By the way,
It's
guys,
quite an interesting aspect of language.
if we have like been a while on voice acting right now, should we watch some trailers?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, we should probably.
Okay, we only have 3 trailers, but they're good ones. I'm excited about these ones.
Yeah.
Let me just stop the music. Let's make
Da, 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 da.
sure
Do, 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 do.
that it's gonna show up. Zoop.
All right, I've got the Star Wars one queued up.
Yep.
Bloop. Me too.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend that you guys go and watch these on your own later, because the quality is not gonna be the best on this. But it would just showing them off. So, film does that have its own? No, it doesn't have its own. Okay, wonderful. I'll have to wait. Is there sound on this? Oh yes, there is sound. Okay, good.
Just checking.
I'm like, did I only download the video? Panic over here. Okay, so there is sound. You guys are at 0. Video is ready.
I'm at 0.
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Sand slabs. Yes.
I love the droid.
Ou será tarde demais?
I like this. I mean, the Star Destroyer is pretty cool.
Well, anything like he has modeled, and this is cool. He designed that droid from scratch.
It's pretty cool. It fits. It looks like the sort of droid you could see in Star Wars.
Mm.
More so than BB. Anyway.
Kira.
Oh no. Okay. I mean, it's not a big. I'm gonna mention that afterwards.
Is it the wheels?
Você nunca vai ganhar.
Look, I'm not gonna talk about wheels this time. All right.
What language is it?
Eu não ganho.
I think it's maybe. No, I don't know.
Tentando.
Ooh.
Oh, the custom scarf model there that he pulls down into a different shape. It sort of feels like a trailer went straight into an extended trailer, and now we have the same shots but extended.
Yeah, wait, haven't we seen this already?
Yeah, it's literally the same shots, but they're all lasting longer.
Oh. I like the droid is
See,
just
like, they're still
flailing
the
its
same
arm.
shot.
Ah, é você. E aí, o que você acha?
You know what I want to do at some point? I want to try and do a
What?
dub of one of these like foreign language machines.
That could be fun.
It's Portuguese, okay. Star Wars.
It does look pretty cool, though. I'm.
The
if
quality is definitely
Was
there.
there subtitles? Ah, they were English subtitles.
Yeah,
like
there
accent
were.
proper.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I
So-
didn't have those on.
Can I
So-
be a
Dang.
droid now, please? Oh my god.
Oh, that's a goal right there, becoming a droid.
Yes. Oh my god.
Here, let me put it in chat the link to the trailer.
I saw the lasers,
That
and
should
they
be-
were arcing.
The robot is so.
So that means he has gravity enabled on the BB gun.
Oh. I wonder how he did Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
I think they're 3D models.
Yeah, but like, how did he do like the speed in and then stopping? Like,
I don't know. I'd have to have a look at it again.
okay. Well, what I like about this is it's Star Wars, but he
But it
has
has its own
his
style.
Yeah, it has its own style. It's Star Wars, but not.
Yeah.
Unlike the sequel trilogy, which didn't have their own style. I'm sorry. I just like to throw shade at it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get started on the Star Wars stuff.
We're gonna be.
that will get me going for a long time
That'll
about
get us
something
a-
that is
that'll
not
get us a
Machinimas.
6-hour podcast real quick.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching this when it comes out.
As long as it has
yeah.
English subtitles, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
just for the visuals, sure, I'd watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to understand the story because I think it's gonna be really interesting.
Have you
Yeah, it looks pretty
ever
cool.
Have you ever seen a film or something where there hasn't been subtitles but you have still liked it?
You mean like because it's in a different language?
Yeah. Or it just hasn't had the. Oh, 1 second. You keep going, guys.
Mm-hmm. I usually only watch stuff that's English because if it doesn't have subtitles, then I can't really understand where the story is going, so I get distracted. But that's just me.
Yeah. I'm thinking. I don't think I've ever really watched something like that though, because I'm a little bit of a, shall we say, a picky eater.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I tend to watch more Machinima just for these podcasts than I would actually watch
Mm-hmm.
by
Okay,
like
I'm back.
a wide margin.
Okay.
Hello.
So it's like,
Welcome back.
hey, look, here's the videos, and I'm like, all right,
Okay.
okay,
You guys ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be watching
all right. Let me pull it up.
Captain Lighter.
Captain.
Hey, Captain Light,
Woo!
Captain Light, he's a hero.
He needs a theme song if he doesn't
Gonna
already.
bring
one.
illumination down to 0.
Wait, he does?
Yeah, he had one, and then I
Braigar made one.
made a different version of it for him. It's in this trailer, so.
Ooh, I wanna. Okay, let's start it already.
Wait 1 second.
I'm
I
cute.
need to pull it.
I'm ready.
Okay, should be good. 3, 2, 1, go.
MachinimaHub? Us?
Ooh.
Blockbuster? The mod?
Stop.
Unverified Studios?
Can't.
Picture.
I can't live that way. If I have to leave the Air Force, I can't. How can I support my family without a purpose? I'm sorry.
I don't remember if I made this
John.
trailer.
I'm just glad you're okay.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a kid though.
Yeah.
Look, how about we just get away for a night?
Yeah? Where to?
I was thinking, those cabins up in New York you wanted to go to before.
What was that noise, John?
Wait, John, don't do it! Don't touch the glowy rock!
You're dreaming or
Touchy.
something. This isn't real.
No,
This is the theme song.
this is real.
Ooh.
No!
John Wright, former Air Force captain, correct?
You want me to be one of these heroes?
You become a devoted man to something new, and in the end, you make a great sacrifice. Now, I would say that is purpose.
February 14th?
Oh, February 14th. That's not even that far away. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
So what did you
I
guys
don't
think of
know.
that?
I think. Look, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing about UVD stuff. It's not fancy. It's not all like pretty and fancy like Tosla's stuff. You know, the skins aren't the best looking, but it just has this humble, enjoyable feel to it.
It feels kind of classic Machinima, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it feels kind of classic, but there's some things it does a little bit better than like what you would normally think of it as, I think.
Right. Also, I want to say, Captain Light is the most DC non-DC superhero there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get so many like DC vibes like watching this.
Yeah. It gives me vibes for like the Flash series, how that started.
It's like a
Yeah.
mixture of like Flash and Superman, kind of.
And you know,
And also, there's the guy who's just bloomin'
Green
sidelined.
Lantern.
You know, here I go again, but
Yeah.
what makes me really excited about the trailers and stuff like that is just the audio part, obviously, because I listen to that a lot, and I think that the voice actor who voices Captain Light is a very
he's so
good
good.
voice actor.
Oh, he's so good.
So when you hear him speak, you're literally like, oh my god, he is the superhero. So that's why I get really hyped up, because I'm like, whoa, I can't wait for this.
He has a voice that'll definitely work for a superhero.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember
Whereas
watching
my
the
voice would work better
CT,
for the villain.
the CTS parts of Captain Light, and like I remember, like he is such a standout character and voice presence in any scene he's in.
I was so sad with the CTS that I couldn't get the new voice lines from him, and I had to reuse old
It
ones.
still worked though.
It still worked, but it would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard him in like continue the story, I was really surprised with like how, I don't know, I'd never heard him before, so I was just like, oh well.
Isn't he like a professional voice actor too?
I don't really know him actually.
Like I think he has a big channel where he does a lot of voice acting stuff, mostly
Well, he sounds
anime
like
stuff.
Professional, so that's good.
Yeah.
Smug Kira VA. Well, that sounds like someone who might do it on a larger scale, if nothing else.
So, yeah, I'm excited for Captain
1.43K.
Light. What I'm also excited for is this next one we're going to be looking at.
Ah.
Let me
Oh
load
yes.
it up.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just say before we start that Stealth has surprised me a lot of like how good he actually is. Like
Yeah.
because like I remember thinking he was. I was thinking he was going to be like this new beginner.
I got my eye on at the moment.
Like he seemed to be like the a beginner when he first started working on stuff.
Yeah, he gave that vibe, didn't he? But then you look at his stuff and you're like, actually,
he is a lot better than most people.
I've seen him do a little bit. Well, I've seen a tiny little bit behind the scenes, and been calling with him while he works on the project and stuff. And it's a lot of fun to just hear him. Well, I got to see like a little bit of like some scenes and stuff like that, just the visuals. But that really hyped me up because he's really good at it.
Yeah,
he's got a very unique style.
Again, he was also another one that like, because of the CTS we did, I'm excited for this and Captain Light because they made me want to see it. Okay, let's watch the trailer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Viewgate City.
I'm so excited.
A place of 1,000 promises.
No matter how broken those promises may be.
It always keeps you going. Here, stall means everything.
But don't forget that if it is by force, extortion, or downright grit, Aaron Tech always gets what it wants. And what it wants is what's best for the city.
Oh, I really like that shot.
Oh God, why? Why? Why?
Why?
Why? It's literally the demon in the window again.
Aww.
But now there's 2 of them.
Yeah, now there's 2 of them.
And one of them is
I think it's pretty funny.
It takes you out a little bit. I don't know. I don't like that stuff.
It pulls me out of the hype.
Well,
so you know, I just want to hang on 1 second. Did anyone else have?
Everybody. Yeah,
he was completely in one ear.
Yeah, he knows about it. He couldn't fix it or something, whatever it was.
Oh.
But
okay.
I feel so sorry for her because like her voice file or whatever is not good. It's like it kind of pulls the trailer down a lot.
I couldn't even make out what she was saying.
I had a little bit of trouble understanding what she was saying as well, but
I think he probably would be better off not including her part in the trailer. Because I'm sure he'll have it fixed for the actual series.
Yeah, it might have been better. I did like the what's her name? The purple-haired girl. She has a name. She's been given a name. I know.
That's your character, right,
in, like,
Scuffle?
Net?
Net. Yes. All right.
Yes.
I like Net. She's cool, and then like she kicks the person like through the wall of that plane. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like that as well.
Actually, my favorite thing about her was her bike. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was so awesome. When I saw the model, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Oh yeah.
The bike was cool. The bike was cool. But it wasn't the thing that stood out to me the most.
It was just kind of more like a little...
Hang on, let me just double check.
A little flex.
Yes.
Alright, the wheels turned. Stealth, you're my favorite creator of the hub.
Oh, the wheels turned.
The wheels turned. So he's now my favorite creator just because of that. There you go. I'm
Good
serious
job.
about the wheels thing, by the way. It bugs me.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm pretty sure the wheels turn. It's a little hard to see, but I'm pretty sure they're turning, so...
The wheels on the bike goes round and round, round and round.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh yeah, they turn. Let's turn off the music. Yeah, they definitely turn.
Yeah, so there you go, Stealth.
Good job, Stealth.
I'm just thinking about when I recorded that. Like the sound effects of like me punching and stuff. I just remembered that when I recorded her actual voice like saying stuff, that was a while ago, and then the sound effects I recorded when I was sick. So it was kind of... I'm glad that it fit well. And you didn't really hear that I had a blocked nose or anything.
Yay!
Grunt noises are always so much fun.
Yeah. They're really awkward though, but...
That is screaming.
No, it can be a battle cry. Like, just imagine he's like kicking like that.
I surely would be terrified.
That reminds me of like a karate kick, like a...
Oh yeah!
Just imagine yourself flying through the air. Okay, shall we get going with the Machinimas that we're talking about?
Yeah.
We probably should.
Yeah.
Probably should. Because that's going to put us straight on the voice acting stuff again, and then we could...
Yeah, let's not spend too much time on it. Like, I think we can start to round off as soon as we're done with this. Okay. First one we're going to be talking about is Info Attack.
Yeah, Info Attack.
So, how did this come about, Josiah?
I don't remember exactly, but basically I just... I was like, I kind of want to do something for the Splash Machinima universe. And then Ray was like, boy, oh yeah, the do was ask.
And what is it?
Got any ideas? And I was like, well, I could do like a J. Jonah Jameson type character. And then just like, he comes back to me later with just this wall of text. There's just like this big wall of text, and he's like, that.
I think,
like, all right.
I think this is the perfect contribution from you in this world too. Like, I feel like this is what you should be doing in this world. Like, this character is good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is a good fit for me. I did all right.
I've said this right. Sorry, but sorry for interrupting you. I've said this before, but I really liked how you, well, here I go about voice acting again. How you voice the character, because you have something about your way of voice acting that you sound in a way, I was like, okay, so this video is meant to be like a little funny thing, and then your voice kind of topped that, so good job.
My voice tops everything.
Ooh, it tops
Ooh.
everything. Yes.
No, I'm not being serious. Wait.
No, but really, like, even the bloopers, those made it even more funny.
Yeah. Well, I like energy. I like energy in my voice acting. And that comes across the most in my own voice acting, I think. I like energy.
Hello, phone.
Sounds on silent in class.
How
For some
dare
reason,
you.
my alarm is set to 10 p.m. instead of a.m. Wonderful. Anyway, what is the next one we're gonna talk about?
Wow, he just used the phone to cut us off, Scuffle. Are we gonna stand for that?
He set an alarm for 2 seconds.
Yeah, like, I'm timing these guys.
Under you, Braigar!
It's like the Emmys or something when their like speeches are going too long, they start playing music and like to get them
Kinda
to
like
go off.
hurry up,
Just
hurry up,
finish
end
what I
it,
had to
end
say about the voice acting thing. I love energy, and I love it in other people's voice acting as well. So if anyone does voice acting for me, try to put energy into it, and you'll go higher up in my books because of it.
Okay.
So, don't do a line like, oh, hey, I am here to take you down. Go just overboard. Like, you think you're putting too much in, but I don't go overboard. Like, I'm here to take you down, you foul beast!
Overdoing it, honestly, that makes it better because you can't see someone's face. When you're acting normally, you see someone's posture and stuff like that, but if you can't see them, then you have to put all of your emotion into your voice to really carry that across, so I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright,
You guys good?
last man standing.
Okay, last man standing. Let's get it back up. So, that, I have a feeling that Will was just trying to experiment with like some mood and fighting and just trying to do something different than what he has been working
it
on.
seems like a bit of an experimental machinima. There's not much to it.
It's fighting. It's like fighting in a war. That's really what it is. But he has good mood in it. He has good fighting in it and all that stuff.
He has good mood. He has good fighting. I do think the lighting was a little bit too dark.
Oh, it's like
Because
kind
it
of
was just
very
I just
filtered.
couldn't make out what was going on with the fight scene.
Like, I think it was very filtered. It seemed very filtered anyways.
I recall like I watched this, but I'm unsure if I fully like remember it. My memory's not the best. I feel like I watched it though.
Also, it was kind of weird how it ended.
Yeah, just dead. It's last man standing, and he was last man standing.
Because it had the soldier, and he's like going around fighting these other guys that have come in. But then, like, while he's like pressed against the wall with the other guy, it's just like bang, and he's dead.
Yep.
And it's like, but why? Why that? Like, I was so confused when that happened.
No, we haven't talked about yours yet, Sean. We can though. Let's move over to that one.
All right.
Oh lordy, that's a big. Yeah, yours. I downloaded small ones. You downloaded big ones. Okay, let's bring that down.
I always download the big ones.
Okay, so Yandere. What did you guys think?
Yes.
I think it was pretty well done, to be honest.
Yeah.
It goes to show that Sean can really do the visual stuff.
Like, you have these types of videos that you like to make clearly. Like there's you like this like kind of extreme, violent, romantic, extreme drama, if that makes sense. Like that it was very clear in your musical and this. Like, yeah, that's like what you like to do, and I think you do those things very well.
Yeah, it's quite well put together. That was one of the things I just looked at it, because normally I'm quite the nitpicker, but I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I mean I basically only see one small thing off with that, and it's a very, very small thing. It's not even worth mentioning. It's practically a technical issue.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing, like I went and watched the original that it was based on.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see. I haven't done much of like adapting anything ever before, so it's cool to see how you went about doing it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty well done, and I thought the animated poses were utilized practically better than Tosla. The animation, it felt really smooth.
Yeah.
And I sort of looked at that, and what it made me think is, I need to step up my pose game.
It made it.
I really like the poses as well, and they kind of like I don't know how else to say it, but they kind of were woven into each other. It wasn't just this is a pose, this is a pose, this is a pose, but it felt natural.
Yeah.
Like somebody was actually just moving around.
I liked how it came to life, compared to like watching the original, because like that is just concept images, right? This one, like things were moving. You gave life to something that was a concept, which is really well done, and I'm happy that the creator noticed you for it.
Yeah, me too.
It is one of those things like, I think I'll be able to figure it out, but part of me would love to look at that scene and be like, so how has he set up these poses to have them flow like this? Like which like, you know, what's the term? Which interpolation did he use here and here, you know? Because again, I think it flows really smoothly. I wonder if he does it at like a higher frame rate or something.
Okay. Moving on.
But yeah, well done, Sean.
Very well
like,
done.
I was quite down on Trust Us, but you know, this one's really good. Something to be proud of.
Next up, we have. Which one was the first one of the skits? Okie dokie?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, let's go with that one then. Da-dun. So what was Okie dokie again? Like there was
It was like, oh, I'm going to hang out with this girl all the way to the end, and the next girl, and then like you have the final ones like, you know they're all gonna die, right? I can keep trying. And it's like this has happened like 13 times.
like it was some meta in like a.
And then the
game,
punchline
right?
is just even the self-aware video game character is telling you to get a damn mod.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Oh yeah.
That was probably the best. That's probably the best joke out of the skits.
Pretty well.
Yeah, I remember really liking that one. Did I see this one first? I don't remember. I feel like I saw this one first and not the other. I felt like the other one where he says the long name thingy and then you say go out. I feel like that one came after, but it might have come first. I don't know. Either way, okie dokie, pretty good.
Oh my god. My
alright.
guys, the live chat right now.
The quotes, yeah. Okay, which was the next one?
The next one was the zombie bite.
Okay, zombie.
Oh, yeah.
This one I feel similar to the Elite Production one. It's like, it's fights. It's cool.
This is the one I like the most of the 4 he put out this month.
This is probably the least one to me, but just because there isn't... I don't know, like it is... No, it's action.
I think all of them have a little bit of, good things about them.
Here's the thing. I don't find most of them that funny. I think the Okie Dokie ones, the Okie Dokie one and the zombie one, I look at and go like, I mean, there's a little bit of a joke there. So it makes me go, like not even really a chuckle, just
that was kind of more the reaction I had for this one. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but I had that for like the Okie Dokie one as well. But I really liked it visually. I think this is the best fight scene he's done.
I really like the action lines also. I think that's just
the action lines
really
are definitely
nice...
part of his style now.
Yeah.
Okay, next one was the Last Supper. Okay. So we debated if we were gonna bring this one up because due to the religious aspects of this one, but we did have like a reasonable like conversation about it before we started.
Yeah.
So we basically wanted to just mention like why it maybe got some dislikes, maybe why it would not go well with some people. So, Josiah, did you want to mention like why you think
It's disrespectful to it's disrespectful to the character Jesus. Because he's a very sacred figure in religion, Christianity. Very sacred figure. I think you could get away with stopping it just at like the high-pitched mocking, but I think the biggest issue is that he says the F word.
Yeah. I think so too. Because it kind of makes him seem like, well,
an immature brat?
Yeah, I mean, it makes, I guess it paints a different picture of him, right? That's not fitting to him.
I don't know. I think it's more so you putting cursing together with Jesus is maybe like in that's I can understand that is in bad taste. I'm not religious in any way, so I'm not offended by it. I find it funny, but I understand. Like that's why I wanted to bring it up. Like it or not, there's maybe not do that. Yeah, so the cursing I think is the biggest problem.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily. It's not like the characters have sworn at Jesus, right? So it wasn't a direct offend type of thing. Like, oh well, F you because whatever. Well, that would just be plain offending. I
think anyone who has read the Bible, whether you believe it or not, I think you have to agree that he was a very well-spoken individual, very articulate. He said things quite carefully and, way with words.
Anyway,
so it seems very strange for him to just be like,
I mean, I see it just as
out.
I see it just as he's a character in this. He's a joke. It's not actually trying to be Jesus here.
Maybe that's also kind of the funny part about it, that he's not what he is portrayed as. Like, he is supposed to be this very well-spoken person, but maybe it's also part of the joke to make him be more like a not down-to-earth person, but kind of something that other people could relate to.
But we should really just mention, like it or not, the cursing was probably a bad thing. And we should probably move on from it.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the reasons why it was poorly received.
Okay, next one was what was this one called again? It was me or something like.
Who asked?
Or who asked? So when you have the SWAT team going in and everywhere, and then a lot of zooming, and then go into his room, he's shivering, and you come in asking what it is or something, and he says like, "It was me," or something. I was the one who asked. Which is
it's 6 SWAT people bust into a building and are like, "Who asked? Who asked? We have to find them." And then turn around like, "It's not here. We have to find the one who asked. Who asked? Who asked? Who asked?" And then Tosler falls out of bed and goes, "It was me. I'm the one who asked."
I think more than anything, you and Tosler do really good voice acting in this. I like your characters in this shared skit universe, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in quality. It's the joke was but at the same time the video.
I mean, well.
As far as I understood, it was also kind of an inside joke between Tosler and his friends. So in that way, I do get that it would be very enjoying for them and for him to make it and then show it to his friends. But maybe we wouldn't fully get it.
Okay, yeah, that
Well,
puts
but
a
there's the
little
thing,
bit
right? If he's
different
making
perspective.
this and making it public and going like, "Look, guys, I made another skit. It's amazing," and then we watch it, but we don't get the joke. That's kind of an issue.
Did he do that though?
Well, he always, whenever he posts one of his videos, he tries to hype it up. Like, you know, he posts it in MC Machinima, and it's like, fire emoji, bruh, fire emoji, link, fire emoji, bruh, fire emoji.
Well, I mean, he's still excited about his work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he made
he's
this, he put
presenting
effort
as
into it.
skits,
It might not be a very
and
long
it's
video,
definitely
but
aiming
he's
for
still...
popularity. Like, and he goes like, "Oh, you know, my stuff's great." I just think, look, if he wants to make a video about an inside joke, that's fine, but it feels to me like he was making it expecting other people to love it.
I didn't get that. For me, it's just he made a video. He wanted to make a skit. It was fun.
Visually, quite well done. Visually, quite well done.
Yeah, the only thing that I
But
had a
I
little
think
bit
the
of
script
trouble
was-
with was the really dark warehouse. I know that it was supposed to be really dark, but I was watching it on my phone, and I couldn't quite see the screen that well when it was really dark. First, I thought he was gonna do flashlights, but he didn't end up doing that, so I couldn't really see what was going on. And later, when I watched it again, I watched it on my PC. I could see it better, but it was kind of hard to see for me.
Yeah, the first few he did definitely better. I think if he started leaning more, well, I guess he kind of started doing a little bit of this with this one, but I nailed those a little bit better than this one, I think.
Also, it's worth noting, this one and the one before it are both definitely based on memes.
Mm-hmm.
The zombie bite, Doki Doki, I'm not sure. Maybe there's a meme behind those as well, but I feel like there's more to them. These ones to me felt like just the meme. And I think that's possibly part of why I didn't like them. Because here's the thing with a meme, alright? Here's the thing with a meme. A lot of the time, it's just text, or it's a picture with text. So you read it, you internalize it very quickly, and often that speed is almost required for the joke.
Yeah.
So, like, with the Last Supper one, I know I'm getting caught up on that, but I'm not talking about the religious part now. It's like, is it me? No. Is it me? No. Is it me? Is it me? Is funnier than when it's drawn out. Is it me? No, it is not you, sir. Is it me? No, it is not me. Is it me? Is it me? I don't know. I think that's part of it. And so, like, and then I didn't even think that this one even properly used the meme as a joke. It was just, I feel like the one he made most recently, the Who Asked one, feels like it should now be used as the meme itself would be used, rather than as a joke. Do you know what I mean? Because the meme is like, if someone just randomly pops in and says something like, well, I think Rebecca was a terrible movie. Like, when nothing was said about that. You could respond now by sending that video. The, who asked? We're gonna find the one who asked!
Okay.
And see, that's kind of amusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, in that usage, it's amusing, but I don't think the video itself sells that.
Oh, you mean... I get it. So it's kind of more like if it's in context, then it's funnier. But if it kind of just pops up out of nowhere, then it's kind of like, wait, what does this relate to?
Yeah. So I looked at the script and I'm like, where is the joke?
Okay.
Because I saw the script beforehand. I'm like, where is the joke in this? I don't see it.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
So I think that's the issue with that one.
Okay. So, speaking of problem, the problem.
Okay. The problem.
So we're taking into consideration all three parts in this. I'm not getting like a thumbnail for all different parts.
Okay. All right. Just put all three thumbnails on screen. So this is a little humble one, but this is a little weird because I'm normally the person who's like, oh, well, here's all of this critical analysis and like, look, it's really bad for this reason, that reason. I look at this and I'm like, well, I mean, there's something wrong here and there, and this is fun.
Yeah, it's I think
like it's not like there's
clearly has a
nothing
style.
wrong with it, but it's really fun to me.
He has a very light-hearted, fun character going around doing stuff. That's kind of what I like.
It
not
kind of reminds me of like being 12 and having my own imaginary world, and it's like it doesn't all make sense, but it's all just fun, and who cares?
I get that. Like there's clearly, like if there's a deeper story to this, I'm definitely missing it, but it's fun.
Well, I mean, if there's a deeper story, I'm missing it as well, but I don't think there has to be. To be honest, I think it's just quirky little fun ideas thrown together in a nice package, and it's just fun to watch. Like when the skeletons carry the guy, that's just a fun idea, but it's also a really simple one.
I feel like that's something fun you'd see in a cartoon or like an anime or something like that.
Yeah, it gives you that. Doesn't it give you that cartoon vibe?
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of like a Looney Tunes or something.
You
know, like, and you could say the same thing you said about it. Like, there's no point to a Looney Tunes cartoon, really. Like a lot of them. Like, think about something like Roadrunner. You know, what's the point of that? It's that, you know, the guy doesn't succeed.
Fair enough. I never watched those, so I don't know.
I used to like him when I was a kid. Maybe that's why it reminds me of being a kid, is because it gives me that kind of same energy.
Yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, I quite like this.
He had some interesting concepts. I was very amusing also with the golem running around with the flames and those stuff.
The scene went on possibly a little bit too long,
Oh,
but it was.
and when he melted the
fun.
skeleton, that was cool.
Yeah, I was so proud of that. Well, proud isn't the right word. I saw that and I'm like, yeah, and it like actually like melts and goes like, and I was like, yes.
Sophie, you didn't see it, did you?
The reason why I've been a little bit quiet until now is, I haven't really seen it, so I don't really get what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, fair enough. I maybe shouldn't have saved this one for last.
Whoopsie.
Okay, that is all the Machinimas. Oh well, we skipped some, but like it's general.
Those are the main ones that stuck out to us. We watched more than that, but those were the main ones that stuck out to us.
It's kind of like general, like how it is with movies in general. It tends to be slow start of the year always. But like I know for a fact there's some fucking some
it
bangers.
Was a slow month. I mean, basically, you know, there was only like 2 real sets of things. You know, it's like.
But there's some crazy shit coming. There's some really good stuff coming that I know. For example,
well, you got Knights of Frost in the works.
Yeah, I'm almost done with Knights of Frost. Apple, I've seen some of the stuff he's done for Diversion series, which I'm helping produce, and that series is looking so good. Oh,
in some ways, I think I was spoiled a bit by the first 2 months that we did it, because, you know, first month we had Legendaries with Ray, and then the second month we had Flush City with Kabiki, and then, you know, and then we got to the third month, and it's like Red Dust and Trust Us. It's getting a little more shaky, and then we get to this month, and it's like, It just doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like anything we have here is as stand out as the last 3 months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it always tends to be bigger things going later.
It's a much smaller, slower month.
But nothing to take away from the people that have been posting and stuff like that this month. It's just a lot of the time it comes down to taste too. That is also a thing.
Also, I think some stuff happens a lot around January, and it kind of throws people's schedules out of whack. Might be part of why a lot of stuff doesn't show up in January.
Yeah.
People have a lot of stuff to do as well.
So, Sophie, what do you have planned going forward? Like, what can people expect from you?
And when are you going to make your own machinima?
Thank you, Kathy.
My own machinima? Well, I have no idea how to do any editing or whatever of like visual.
BB Academy exists.
But well, I'll definitely be continuing to voice act more, taking on more challenges, preferably, and yeah,
I can
doing
get
more of
behind
what
that.
I love.
Do you have anything specifically coming up that you can talk about?
Well, some of the trailers that we've watched,
Yeah.
I voice in, but well, I do have some other things I'm working on, but I can't quite talk about that yet.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Joziah?
I'm taking a break from Machinima at the moment. Because I've got a lot of real life stuff going on, and I just need to. If I'm focusing all my time on my hobbies, I'm not gonna get anything important done.
Yeah, and
Hopefully I'll come back sooner rather than later. Probably, when I get employed again, I'll show up and be like, "All right, time to go ham on Machinimas again," because I've got a schedule and I can work around it with free time more specifically.
All right.
But I need to be spending more of my time on real life. So, gonna be backing out Machinima stuff for a while. So stuff like Silver Blade, Elemental Dreams, all of that stuff is basically on hold. If anyone cares.
Did you want to mention the thing we talked about?
Yeah, okay. So this is gonna be probably my last MachinimaHub podcast. I'm going to be leaving after this one.
Which you can always come back and guest and stuff like that too. It's like, you know.
Yeah, there's just, well, I won't go into it, but there's just some stuff going on, and I'm not going to be taking part anymore.
But it has been great doing this with you. You have been a wonderful co-host with me so far, and yeah, I think we have done some incredibly fun podcasts.
Who are you gonna get to replace me, huh? Huh?
Oh.
Scuffle? Is Scuffle gonna replace me?
Well, I just want to say yes, thank you for being with me this far on it. It's been great.
Wholesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun talking with you.
Yeah, it's been a chill, fun podcast.
I definitely enjoy the talking part. Like, this is, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. There's just another aspect to it, you know, which is like watching all the Machinima and stuff, and it's a time sink. I don't remember all of them off of my head, but when I decided and said to the other people that I was going to leave, I had like 5 different reasons, and it's like, you know, with all of these, I should just go.
Okay, well, I think that is it for the first podcast of 2020. Thank you.
Well,
what?
You didn't announce Creator of the Month.
I'm going to.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, I just want to
just mention, I'm no longer involved in the Creator of the Month process. Like, the Braigar decided this one on his own.
Yeah, I just wanted to say before
I'll just.
Okay.
And I'm going to give a call out to someone afterwards that I thought really deserved it as well.
Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you, Scuffle, for jumping in at a short notice.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun talking to you today. And again, thank you, Joziah, for joining me for these 4 podcasts so far. And yeah, do you want to give a shout out to your guy?
No, I think let's give the Creator of the Month guy the big spotlight, and then I'll just casually mention my guy afterwards.
Okay. Well, the Creator of the Month, based on my vote, I did get some opinions checked on it, and that is not starting soon. Let me.
Oh, you should put the image on screen. You don't have a Machinima this time, do you?
I don't have a Machinima, but I have an image.
You should just put the image on screen.
Yep, I just.
When you say it.
Where did I put it though? Give me a second.
We'll just try and make it even more.
Yeah. Okay, here it is.
More tense. Okay, come on, guys.
Ba-bam! It's Tossler. I think you have done a great job being consistent with your skits. I think they're funny. I think you have quality. I think you deserve this month in Creator of the Month. And yeah, I'll be posting it in the Hall of Fame after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, for me, I just gotta draw attention to Super Firecat again, the guy who made the problems. It's just fun. That would have been my pick. Would have been Super Firecat, and again, I can't really describe it, but it's just fun. And like, don't go into it, if you go and check it out, don't go into it going like, oh, this is gonna be some amazing high quality machinima. It's not super amazing or anything. It's just a little fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy it for that.
Definitely deserved a shout out though. Okay.
So that's what that was.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. Final applause for Josiah being such a great co-host this far.
Yay!
Woo! And we'll see what we do next month. I don't know what it will be, but we'll see. Probably will be fun.
One day, perhaps I will return.
Yes.
Holding gifts
return of Josiah.
Holding
Okay.
Cake.
Okay. Bye.
Just like invite me when I'm gonna be Creator of the Month.
Yeah. Bye.